Many people arrive in Canada with good experience. However, one should develop a strategy to get into a right job here. One of the important lessons to learn is to forget the past and start afresh. Many professions such as medicine, engineering, nursing, architecture are regulated professions. Hence, you need to qualify to work into these regulated professions. One simple way to find out more about your professional association is to Google. The web is an important part of your job search. Second aspect is network. Meet people, socialize, try to understand what the employers exactly need. In most cases, this is the one that will get you a job, as most of the jobs in the market are hidden. Third, prepare your resume. Ask your friend to proofread it. Customizing your resume to each job you apply is a key in getting an interview. Human resources centers can certainly help you in polishing your resume and cover letter. These centers also offer a 3-day workshop for job seekers to hone their skills. This is another great place to meet people. Fourth, record keeping. Save the resume you have sent to an employer in separate folder for each job applied. This will help you once you get an interview. If someone is looking for a profession change, then Service Canada website is another great resource as it spells out various job market requirements across the country.
You may be coming here with work experience, but because you're worried that your credentials won't be recognized, maybe you're looking into options for re-qualifying in your field. So I just wanted to go over a few things that you might consider planning or looking into before you even land in Canada. The first thing you should do is look online for your chosen field, contact any professional organizations and find out if your profession is actually a licensed profession, and if so, what the requirements are. Then you can look into colleges that offer that program and see what the admissions requirements would be. One distinction that Canadians make that you should be aware of is that colleges and universities are not interchangeable terms. Colleges typically are 2 to 3 year programs and offer a more applied curriculum which prepares you for very specific jobs, whereas universities are 4-year programs usually, which prepare students for a variety of different roles, including graduate education. Application to these programs can be a lengthy process, so make sure you start this early if you've decided that this is something you want to do. So you should prepare all your recommendations, transcripts, etc. One thing you should be careful about is make sure that the degree will in fact improve your marketability. A higher degree here might make you overqualified for a lot of jobs. I came to North America as a student and I've never regretted that, because coming to college and university is an excellent way of acclimating to the population and the culture, partly because you'll have a lot of people from your background there, but you'll also have a very diverse student body which is more cosmopolitan than the average population is. As for the education itself, it's largely self-directed here, so you will have to take the initiative and get what you want out of the program. And I want to caution you that academics are not the sole function of the college. What you're there primarily for is to build a network of contacts, and the education is mostly handled by yourself.
It is important for new immigrants to understand that Canada is a multicultural nation, and in some sense it is a mosaic of cultures. Obviously new immigrants in Canada would like to be accepted into that mosaic, but it is equally important for them to understand that they have to accept in turn. People around us are likely to be very different, and the differences could stretch from race, religion, sexual orientation, ethnicity. Newcomers should make an effort to adapt and blend in with their surroundings. It is important to observe how people dress, how they behave in public, and it's important for newcomers to be conscious of that and to imbibe those behaviors. Or even if we choose not to imbibe those behaviors, then it's at least very important to be conscious of acceptable and non-acceptable behaviors in the Canadian cultural context. Another very important aspect of life in Canada is observing civic niceties. One of the first things that people new here would tend to understand or observe that is that people here are very extremely polite. It is very important that when you're outside or in a store shopping, to remember very simple niceties like hello and thank you. Or for example, if you're out for a walk and you happen to pass a neighbor, it is expected that you would greet the neighbor, even a simple good morning or a good afternoon. Not doing so would be considered very rude.
Most immigrants come to Canada to give their children a better quality of life, and for the most part, I think they are able to provide that in this country. Yet bringing up a family in Canada is not easy. One of the first things that struck me about Canada was how alone our family really was. When we immigrated, we left behind a large network of relatives and friends. When we came here, we knew just one family. Our child went from being the center of our grandparents' adoring attention to having no one to interact with apart from us and strangers she met in her daycare. Parenting is not easy, and it becomes all the more difficult for us without supports that we are used to. Here we have to be everything for our child: cook, driver, friend, mother. Over time, I learned that there are many resources available for parents, and especially for newcomer parents. One great resource I found out about was the Ontario Parent Resource Centre. It's a great free facility for newcomers, which I encourage everyone to explore. School education is free and by and large of a good quality. There are libraries in every community, and you can take a large number of books absolutely free. In Canada, children are independent entities. You cannot force them to do anything that you want them to do and that they do not want to do. There are strict laws in Canada regarding welfare of children. I think it's very important to understand that though we may come from India, Pakistan, China, wherever, our children will be Canadian with all the values, outlook that will be instilled in Canadian society. And forcing our values on the children doesn't do anyone any good.